Hi everyone, just a quick one today. Just popped on quickly to talk about two very important needs that we have within ourselves. The first is the need to connect with others, and also the need to express ourselves authentically. So, when we're experiencing social anxiety, we find it challenging, like really challenging, to get either of those needs met. So, relationships of any kind can feel hard when we're experiencing this because of we find ourselves in this internal conflict of deeply wanting to connect with others, while simultaneously feeling deeply scared that if we were to show up authentically, express ourselves authentically, that it will result in this feeling of rejection, which really is this feeling that we experience when there is an absence of connection. So we find ourselves going around in circles. We choose one over the other, either through like chronic people pleasing, which is the choosing connection part of it, of trying to, please others, to have other people like you, to have that approval and that, um, but just that feeling of like seeking out that connection from another person. Or we choose avoidance. And that avoidance really, from where I'm kind of sitting today and just thinking about all this stuff and just exploring it within myself, that avoidance really to me feels like the avoidance of um, expressing ourselves. It's keeping ourselves hidden away and keeping ourselves small and keeping ourselves out of that potential um, I suppose like potential situations for connection where we fear that, if we did show up as who we are and there was that potential to connect with someone, that again, we're going to result in feeling rejected or feeling judged or just feeling bad about who we are. So we step away from those situations, we avoid those situations, we keep ourselves hidden from those situations so that we can avoid anyone actually seeing who it is that we are as people. Um, or sometimes we can also like tango between the two. Um, so we may lean in for a while, we may do a bit of people pleasing, we may reach out to people, we may be there for a while, but we're still not actually showing up as who we really are. And therefore, like when that part starts to feel painful, we might step back out again and start to avoid, we might withdraw, shut ourselves off. And like that kind of pattern is quite familiar. It's something that I quite recognize within myself. That's something that I've been doing through most of my life, where it's like I can show up for a little while, but I'm not really showing up as who I really am. And then at some point that feels painful, it feels overwhelming, because I'm not really actually getting the connection that I am actually seeking and actually desiring, because it's not I'm not connecting from a place of me feeling authentic, of me expressing who I truly am. And therefore, I feel like people aren't really connecting with me. And when that starts to feel painful and feels too much, then I go back into withdrawing and I go back into avoiding and feeling this need then too. I just need to reconnect with myself. I need to get to know who I am, because then there's that question of like, I don't even know who I am when I'm with other people. So I think I think you can probably tell just from the way I'm even talking about that and expressing like what my experience has been of that, of like how confusing and conflicting and just like, oh my God, what is going on for me? Like how that can feel. So what I'm getting at here is that when we're in this dance, when we're kind of coming or acting from either of those places, we're still not getting either of those needs met. We're still not actually feeling that sense of connection that we deeply desire, and we're still not expressing ourselves authentically. And the truth is that that's actually quite painful for us. It's very painful for us. And we need those things. We need connection. We need authenticity to feel vital within ourselves to feel joy and to feel um, just, I suppose, like just to feel everything that like this world and this experience of being a human is. And we need to have that reciprocated and for that to be received by others. Um, because we're social beings and we're here to interact and we're here to be with one another and support one another, and we're not here to be separate. We're not here to be separate. We're here to be a group, to be a collective, and to be parts of something. So, what do we need to do in order to start getting those needs met? What do we need to do? First, we need to accept that this is what's going on for us. We need to recognize like what are those patterns that we're like, that me as an individual, what am I doing? How am I responding to situations? What is like, if we were to just look at one of either of those two needs, which one do you feel like you are seeking out the most at the moment, and what does that tell you about yourself and what it is that you emotionally are feeling some form of lack in? We need to connect with other people. We need to find those people who are going to also accept that within ourselves. Here at Quiet Connections, like we're actively, creating a space and a community for people to start making those connections. And even to begin with, even that, if that's just you seeing other people also experiencing similar challenges, or seeing people taking those really small steps to like start expressing themselves, like that really to me like feels like that very, very first step that a person can take. It's just witnessing and feeling like, or just like being in that space of other people starting to do that and feeling it's about working on really like starting to feel more safe with that sense of connection. And there's lots of techniques and stuff that you can learn around managing like feelings of anxiety and stuff to really start feeling more safe within connection and connecting with others. And then we really need to start asking ourselves, so who am I? Who am I as a person, and what is it that I have to offer? What are the qualities and the gifts and the parts of me that feel true, that feel like me, that that I've been keeping or feeling like I've needed to hide, and start really exploring for ourselves who we feel like we are, not what everybody else tells us we are or who they want us to be or who we feel like we're meant to be, but actually asking ourselves who we are. And then the final step really is starting to uh, bring all those pieces together and starting to take those steps to practice, more than anything, practice just small steps of like expressing myself authentically and receiving connection for that. So there's lots that we can do. There's many steps and practices and techniques and different approaches and ways that you can start to like go through each of these steps. And if this is something that you feel like you are either in the middle of, or that you're perhaps just starting to take that process of like wanting to create some change for yourself, of realizing that how things currently are for you right now just are no longer working, that you really feel like you're limiting yourself, or if you feel like that there's just more to you, that there's just more within you that you want to share, that you want to get out, then I really, really invite you to come and join our community and start working with us, start looking at how everybody else in our quiet community, but also perhaps maybe some of the other stuff that we're offering as well can really start to be a part of that process for you. And Yeah, I feel like I'm starting to waffle now, so I'm actually going to stop there. But yeah, I think I'll leave you with just this question of what is what what is the need that you feel like you are seeking the most right now? It may be that it's an equal need. It may be that you're leaning more towards one or the other at the moment, but just a little bit of reflection around the need to connect with others and the need to express yourself authentically, and just see what might be going on for you with that. Bye.